All right, everyone. Liberal Salt Meltdown Part 2. We got to talk about Elon Musk. He's really triggering a lot of people within politics right now. Now he's saying he's going to fund moderate Democratic candidates, so like, the Mansion crowd and the cinemas of the world, in areas that are heavily blue. He's going to unleash his money in order to do that. Having successfully helped to re-elect Donald Trump, he's now trying to literally clean house. Liberals are outraged at this. Billionaires in politics, big money. Where were you to complain when George Soros was funding literally everything under the sun? Where were you when the Act Blue scandal broke out and that was actually in the news and you literally said nothing? Big money is a part of politics. Is it unfortunate in some ways? Yes, absolutely. You're going to get like the Rockefeller Vanderbilt sort of like Gilded Age shit going on. And it is inevitable. But that's the way that our political system has worked. Long before Citizens United, for example, we already had this problem of big money in politics. And I'm not a fan of big money in politics. I think that politicians should essentially take a vow of poverty and live like peasants, actually, more than anything else. They shouldn't be able to insider trade. I agree with both the Republicans and the Democrats on this. There shouldn't be a Citizens United, corporations are not people, etc., etc. I believe in low churchism and individuality and citizens being the arbiter, the determiner of who is elected. But if you're going to have wealth in politics, complaining about one specific wealthy person while ignoring all of the other wealthy people that are donating to political causes and stuff, number one is bullshit, number two is goddamn pointless. There's already a binding Supreme Court decision allowing Elon Musk to do exactly what he's doing. In fact, this is almost an inversion of the Occupy Democrats. You'll remember that years ago when we first got the Geek Squad, and at first it was the Gang of Four, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Mariana Presley, and Ilhan Omar. They get into office. The way they got into office was by big money spending by the Occupy Democrats, by the far left, and they funded their campaigns to knock out weak incumbents in areas that were easily winnable by Democrats. And they leftoided it up. They knocked out what would be conceived of as relatively moderate individuals, I mean relative by Democratic Party standards, knocked them out in order to replace them with left-wingers. And this metastasized, and then I think there were 11 of them at peak. I think a couple of them have been fired now, which is hysterical, by the way. Musk is now moving in the opposite direction, trying to literally improve the Democratic Party to take those same districts away from the far left and put in people that are actually sane. I applaud him for this effort. Good on you. It's basically a work of philanthropy when you think about it. It's also a work of philanthropy, ironically, for the Democratic Party. Yes, in the end, if the Democratic Party manages to stabilize and find some grounding and actually become sane again and win elections again, Elon Musk might be partially responsible for that. That's the crazy irony of the situation we're in politically right now. Right now, as I've analyzed, the Democrats have a problem. They have a far left that will not work with like the Union Dems, especially in the Rust Belt states, so Pennsylvania, Michigan, places like that they just got crushed in. If you were to eliminate the left-wing poll, force it out of the party entirely, ironically, you would gain votes. You would be hemorrhaging millions of leftoids, but you'd be gaining many millions more of Union Dems. They would no longer be inclined to vote Republican. Look at myself, for example, although I'm not a unionist or anything like that. I already debated that topic on, the Break the Rules podcast with that Jessica chick. If I were a Democrat, a Union Dem, I would not want to be part of a party and probably wouldn't support it if it were supporting communism. But if the commies are forced out, 2-1 the Union Dems outnumber them. The Democratic Party would ironically grow if Elon Musk is successful. They may shout election interference. It'll be the left doing it, by the way, but he's actually cleaning up the party, ironically making it stronger in the process. You could end up with a Democratic Party that actually does what I've said for years would be the best possible solution, which is go back to like a party of JFK sort of thing. It would be absolutely fascinating. Oh, political history, it is hysterical to me. I love this shit. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, an immigrant, and a registered Republican who helped to get Trump elected, manages to reform the Democratic Party. Wouldn't that be the goddamn best headline ever? And it could happen, by the way. I mean, if anyone's going to figure out how to do it, it'll be somebody like Elon Musk. So we might see a Democratic Party that's actually worth voting for. I do want to have two choices. I don't want to be forced to support whatever fucking Republican happens to be running for office because I'm not a Republican. I like Trump. I like Rand Paul. I have no problem with J.D. Vance and Ramaswamy and some of these others. Tulsi Gabbard, of course, she was a former Democrat, and many others that Trump has surrounded himself with. But outside of that core, do I like Lindsey Graham? No. He's going to be heading the Budget Committee, by the way, which I think is a goddamn sin. Literally, somebody's going to hell for that decision-making process. Do I like the McCains of the Republican Party? No. Do I like Mitt Romney? Thankfully, he's outgoing. His parting shot was voting no on Trump's budget bill. I don't like these people. They're warmongers, they're warhawks, they're neocons, basically. They're part of that same uniparty system. And so I'm not fans of them. I'm not a Republican. If you therefore clean up the Democratic Party and make it respectable, so get rid of the anti-gunnery, get rid of the pro-censorship bullshit, and a few other things, it would be a healthier party. It would be actually, I could vote for the Democrats, actually. I'd be willing to do so. But they have to show me that they're worth voting for first. The irony is that Elon Musk, the man that they're complaining about even more than Donald Trump, might be the one to create a party that is actually palatable and capable of being voted for. I mean, irony is literally the word of the year at this point. That's about all. Peace out.